Hey, what's up, my minimalist SEOs? I want to talk about something that I think you might not have thought about before. If you did, good on you, but if you didn't, let's run through this. Okay, so let's say you've done your keyword research, you've created your content, you've gone through that uphill battle, and you're now ranking on page 1 for your target keyword. That's awesome. That's great. So when you do that, the battlefield changes, the tactics change, the things you need to do change a little bit, right? Like before, you were like pushing, you're grinding, you're trying to get to page 1. You get to page 1. So here's what happens now, is you're competing against a whole bunch of other results for the user's click. So now, how do we do that? How do we encourage people to all of a sudden go from, like, maybe say clicking on the top result to clicking on your result that might be sitting at 6 or 7 or, buried somewhere else in there? Well, what we want to do is we want to use something called a pattern interrupt. So, now a pattern interrupt, if you want to kind of figure out what the heck it is, just rewind about 5 or so seconds in this video and you'll see that I glitched out for just a second. Well, the purpose of a pattern interrupt is to kind of take people away from their normal state, their normal understanding, and shift them to something different. So you going through this video, your normal expectation was to be listening, watching me kind of go through, talking with my hands, moving around and spazzing about, but you probably didn't expect me to glitch out for a second, right? So all of a sudden you're paying more attention. This is what a pattern interrupt is. So we want to use these in our blog posts, specifically in our title. Now, previously, we were able to always have a blog title and then the SEO title. The SEO title would show up in the Google search results. So Google has changed that now. Well, sometimes they will use the blog title instead of the SEO title that you've given them. So you got to kind of play around with that. So what I kind of want to suggest is make your blog post titles interesting. Curiosity is a great way to kind of encourage people to come and click through. Maybe using parentheses, exclamation marks, hashtag, punctuation symbols in your title as well, that is going to encourage people to click through from the search results. So oftentimes when you're doing your keyword research, you'll have done a search for your keyword, looked at the search landscape. What are some of the other titles that people are using? Can you take inspiration from that? Can you go kind of against the grain and come up with something different? So like if a lot of times I use the example of when someone is trying to rank for a local keyword. If they're a lawyer in San Antonio or something like that, all the titles would be lawyer San Antonio, lawyer San Antonio, lawyer San Antonio, right? They're all the same thing. So if everyone is using the same title for their blog post for the keyword you've targeted, go with something different. When they zig, you zag. Stand out in the crowd, use that pattern interrupt, find a way to encourage people to click on your post, because you're fighting with people to try and get that user to come to your website. And that is how you want to make sure that you're increasing your click-through rate, increasing your traffic, increasing your, your ability to stand out in the search results. So consider the pattern interrupt tactic when naming your post. All right, until next time, guys, you are awesome.